Welcome in. It's time for another edition of the Morning Espresso here on the SDH Network, brought to you as always by our friends at Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. I'm Jason Longshore, and here's some of the soccer news that you need to know for Thursday, March 13th. Let's try to make some sense out of what happened with Atleti and Real Madrid yesterday in the Champions League. It's any which way, a brutal way to go out for Atletico Madrid. They got the win at home. It was 2-2 on aggregate. It went to penalties. Real Madrid won the shootout. In any form or fashion, that is a difficult way to be eliminated from a competition. But then the way that it happened. Okay, you scored in 27 seconds. Conor Gallagher, El Pitbull, he gets the goal immediately off the kickoff, basically. And it's the fastest Champions League goal by an Englishman, which is an odd stat, but there you go. Vinicius Jr. missed a penalty in normal time badly. It might have landed by now. It felt like Atleti was getting tired towards the end, but this is a very good defensive team that can sit back and defend. They had their moments to break. Felt like Atleti was at least the equal of Real Madrid in this 180 minutes plus 30 into a penalty shootout. Very, very even. Finest of fine margins. And that's what ends up deciding it in a rule that is one we rarely see, a situation that we don't see often at all, and a rule that I think needs to be rewritten. Honestly, I think this is a very outdated rule. So Julian Alvarez converts his penalty, the second for Atleti, and then VAR goes back to look at it. The broadcast, it was a little unclear as to what was going on. We found out before Atleti took their third kick that Alvarez's goal had been disallowed because of a second touch. You can't strike the ball twice. You can't make two touches on the ball in a penalty situation like this. And what I'm not clear on, UEFA has said that the in-ball technology was not called upon. There is, and I don't even know if this ball is accurate. I feel like there were some things said on the CBS broadcast that maybe were not accurate because Christina Uncle talked about how this was done using the semi-automated offside cameras and things, which maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. UEFA said the in-ball technology wasn't called upon and that it was just normal VAR situation. So I don't know if that includes the semi-automated offside cameras or not. It's complicated, and it would be nice if UEFA would come out and explain the process. Because when you watch the video, does Alvarez's plant foot touch the ball before he strikes it with his right foot? Does it touch it after? I've watched it a whole bunch of times, and I'm about 50-50 on it. They made the decision very quickly in Madrid. Is it right? I don't know. Um, watching it yesterday. I mean, I can tell you exactly as we were watching it with a group of folks at Wild Leap in South Downtown Atlanta. I watched it. I didn't think he touched it. I saw one angle and I thought, okay, I think he touched it. Then I saw that same angle two more times and I did not think he touched it. It's like, is the dress like blue or green? I don't know. And for VAR to be that quick in making that decision, unless there's some other element of technology that we're not 100% clear on how they used it, and if they did, and it's just camera work, then show it. Let's go past that. Okay. They make the decision, which is controversial at best. All right. Why, in the laws of the game, is when a goalkeeper intentionally comes off their line to try to make a penalty save, trying to gain a clear advantage. And I know it's hard, and we can argue about goalkeepers and stutter steps and all that all day. But they come off their line trying to make a save. It is a decision that they make. If they make the save, the goal's not given for breaking the rule, it's a retake. So in this situation, There is no advantage from touching the ball a second time. It is absolutely not intentional. You'd never try to do that. And if you did, you shouldn't get to take it again. But in this case, he slips. Why is that an automatic no goal, loss of turn, go to the back of the line? It doesn't match the infraction. And this needs to be rectified. This doesn't happen very often. There are rules and different things that don't get used very often that aren't very good. This is one that needs to be changed now. A goalkeeper intentionally breaking a rule to try to make a save should not get a retake when they make that save and another opportunity to make the save, whereas the attempter taking the penalty should not be excessively penalized for a slip because the field gave way. Just saying, it does not match the crime here. So fix it, IFAB. Please, UEFA, come out and make it clear as to how you came to your decision, because this is an awful look and it was very confusing and a horrible way to go out. Even if he does touch it the second time, it's a horrible way to go out for a team. He should have had a retake. He should have had a retake. That should be the rule. Fix it. I'm with Miguel Delaney on this. I've never really even thought about this rule because I don't remember seeing it anytime in the last decade. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw a double touch like that. Craziness. And it's awful for Atleti. Real Madrid goes on. Some of the comments afterwards on the Real Madrid side were pretty shocking. They're not making themselves very popular outside of their own fan base. So we will see where this goes. Whew. It was a weird one. It was a very strange one. Borussia Dortmund, also very strange. Lille, they got the lead on a very strange goal early in their match with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund came back. They ended up getting the winner 11 minutes after tying it in the 54th minute. And Borussia Dortmund will go through to the knockout round. Arsenal and Aston Villa, no shocks that they got through. Really good win for Aston Villa to win 6-1 on aggregate over Club Bruges. So, first legs of the quarterfinals will take place on April 8th and 9th. Second legs will be 1 week later. PSG will host Aston Villa in that first leg. Arsenal will host Real Madrid. Barcelona will host Dortmund. Bayern will host Inter. Let's go to Conca Champions, and it was a better night for Major League Soccer. Both teams advanced that were in action last night, and one of them, Vancouver Whitecaps. What a performance at Santos Laguna Stadium, not at Monterrey, because Shakira was doing her thing in Monterrey, and there were lots of jokes being made about all of that. Brian White's 78th minute goal ended up being the winner. Vancouver advanced on away goals. They were going to win outright, but a very late dubious penalty was given to Monterrey. Sergio Ramos, yes, that's Sergio Ramos. He converted on the penalty. All kinds of things after so much extra stoppage time was added. It felt like every opportunity that Rayados could get to try to find one more goal to go through was being given to them. They didn't find it, and Vancouver knocks out Monterrey in a game where Ryan Gauld is out injured, Jaden Nelson unavailable. Brian White came off the bench, and they get it done. And Vancouver is in such a good position right now in the early in their season. So impressive what the Whitecaps are doing. And on the other side, Martin Di Michelis, he came to Monterrey in January. Remember, he's the one who didn't even get in the door before saying Brandon Vasquez had to leave. Well, Di Michelis might be the next one to go after this. He says he's not quitting. There's reports in Mexico that he might not manage this weekend against Pumas in Liga MX because Monterrey is in the Club World Cup, and now they don't know if they can trust Di Michelis to get the job done. This is why you should be careful about managers coming in and making big-time player decisions just out of nowhere because they want to. Um, they might not be there very long. So that's the case for Monterrey now as Rayados are knocked out by the Vancouver Whitecaps. LA Galaxy, they finally win a game in 2025. They were down 1-0 on aggregate coming into it. They won 4-1 at home over Herediano. Julian Alvarez, Miguel Berry, first starts. They opened the scoring. Gabriel Peck, Christian Ramirez, they scored in the second half. Harbor Miller, a 17-year-old, he assisted on Peck's goal. Good win for the Galaxy, maybe some momentum for them. They'll go into the next round to face Tigres. Club America in the Super Clasico matchup in Mexico. Third game for these two teams in a row with Club America and Chivas. Las Águilas, huge win, 4-1 on aggregate. Alex Zendejas, he scored after not being picked for the Nations League roster for the U.S. and Mauricio Pochettino. So Club America, after a couple of not so great performances against Chivas, they get the most important big performance and they will advance. Miami tonight in Jamaica. Lionel Messi has made the trip to face Cavalier FC. Don't know if he's going to start. Don't know if he's going to be on the bench. Don't know if he's going to get subbed in. That's all up to Javier Mascherano. The Jamaica Tourist Board, Red Stripe, and Wasinko have all become sponsors of the game in the last week. Look, because there's a huge cost for security and stadium staff for a game of this magnitude. A lot of tickets have been sold. Bleacher tickets were available early in the week. Not sure if they're gone now or not. Uh, Club officials for Cavaliers said that this is like having a head of state arrive on the island as they get ready to host Lionel Messi and enter Miami. Big game tonight in Conca Champions. Let's go over to Europa League today. A couple of nuggets on some games. Manchester United versus Real Sociedad. It's 1-1 on aggregate going into the second leg. United have lost only one of their last 28 home matches in the competition. But that loss was Real Sociedad, who are unbeaten in their last two visits to Old Trafford. Rangers, 3-1 lead on aggregate over Fenerbahce. Rangers have progressed 24 of their last 25 times when they've been in this situation with a 2-goal or more lead after the first leg. Fenerbahce have won just one of their last 11 knockout games in Europe. Tottenham Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry, I want to make sure that I'm following things as they would like me to say it. Tottenham Hotspur versus AZ Alkmaar. Spurs, they have scored in a record 29 straight Europa League home games. They have to score here. They're down 1-0. AZ, they have lost all 9 of their previous trips to England. We'll see. Interesting games for two of the Premier League teams and one of the Scottish Premier League teams in Europa League today. And last one here on the Espresso. Big time congrats to Bob Lee. He was the face of ESPN soccer coverage for decades. He has been announced as the recipient for the 2025 Colin Jose Media Award, which honors journalists whose careers have made significant long-term contributions to soccer in the United States. He was one of the originals at ESPN in 1979. He covered 10 men's and women's World Cups from 1982 to 2015. Covered soccer throughout his career, including being there at the beginning all the way through the end of his time at ESPN, covering Major League Soccer, play-by-play, studio commentary. He did it all. He always shined a light on it and did it in the best way. Bob Lee, absolutely deserving award winner for the 2025 Colin Jose Media Award from the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Congrats, Bob. Thank you for watching and listening. Morning Espresso will be back tomorrow as we get you ready for a busy weekend in MLS and all over the rest of the world. Y'all have a good rest of the day.